Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Reality of Dreams. It's been a long time since I've done a Reality of Dreams, right? But we're going to go ahead and do it today. And I'm going to pull dreams from What Does My Dream Mean? And we're going to play them. I apologize if you can hear kids in the background. Hopefully it's not distracting to you, but we're real people in real life. We have real kids, and we do the best we can with what we have. So let's roll the intro, and we will hop into this dream interpretation session. Okay, Lord, I just ask, Father, that you will guide me and lead me through these interpretations, that you give the hidden mysteries and revelation, and that you will help me and use me to be Spirit-inspired to teach through the process of interpretation as well. So, what I'm wanting to do is Mondays. I'm probably going to be around this time on Mondays. It depends on the day. If it's going to be later, I'll probably let you know. But around this time, I'll do dream interpretation on here live. What I'm wanting to build up to is having people come in where I'll send you a Zoom link to invite you to a meeting, and you can come, tell me your dream, and we will go through the dream live. And I don't need to see it beforehand. I don't need to pray over it or anything like that. The Lord's going to reveal what's in the dream, and I will tell you what it means, and we'll walk through the process together. So, today, I'm going to go to our Facebook group, which is called What Does My Dream Mean? And I'm going to go through some of these dreams. There's one here that I'm not going to talk about because it's a little bit inappropriate, so we'll skip over that one. I'm not going to use the names, but I will tag you in the dream in the comment section. So if you post your dreams in What Does My Dream Mean? I will go through a few of them, probably up to 10 to 15 minutes worth, so however many that takes, it depends on the length of the dream, and we will do that. If you would like to partner with us, we greatly appreciate it and need your support, for sure, especially this time of year. Things slow down, people are recovering from Christmas, and it slows down for us, and it takes a lot to run this ministry. You pay our employees and all of the things that we do behind the scenes for Fireside Grace that y'all don't know about. Some of you do, but most of you don't. So, you can partner with us at firesidegrace.com/partner with us. You can also go to Brandy's Venmo, it's Brandy-Cloninger. Our Cash App is $Fireside Grace, and PayPal is at Fireside Grace, or you can always send check, money order, whatever, to Fireside Grace at P.O. Box 1285, 1285, Judsonia, Arkansas, 72081. We do greatly appreciate it. We pray over every single one that's sent to us. We're a 501c3, so you'll get donation letters at the end of the year for how much you've donated, so it could be a tax write-off for you and all of that good stuff. Hopefully I don't get a fruit fly flying down my throat today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one here. I dreamed about a pug puppy. It was covered in foil, which hindered its movement. It was stiff and stuck in one place. I slowly started to peel off the foil and saw a small black pug puppy. It started to move, first its head, then its neck, and so forth. It was happy to be taken out of what was binding it. So, one thing I learned when I was interpreting dreams when I was younger Christians, like 10 years ago, was don't say, oh, that's obvious, because to me it's obvious, but to other people it's not. Okay, so we'll get that out of the way first, all right? And some of you may be going, oh, I know what that means. The first thing I want to do is, I would title this dream, mostly because if you title a dream, in the title will give you the entire definition. So if I were going to title this, I would call it Removing Foil from a Puppy, or Helping a Puppy Move Freely. Okay? And then you just take the words. What's a puppy represent? Puppy is a dog, a childlike dog, right? What is a dog then? It's man's best friend. So this could be representing helping a friend or friendly person remove something that is hindering them. And so that would be what the entire dream is about. But we're going to go through and we're going to tear apart the layers real quick and interpret the dream. Okay, so the pug puppy was covered in foil. So foil is hindering its movement. We don't have to know exactly what foil represents. Just know that it's a soft metal, and it's preventing them from moving freely. It was stiff and stuck in one place. So this is preventing them from moving at all completely. Moving in what? We don't know. We can assume that it's something spiritual because it's symbolic. As they started to peel off the foil, saw a small black pug puppy. Okay, so now we know it's a small black pug puppy. It could be indicating the person is African American, or it could just be showing that they have a dark kind of dark hair or something like that, or maybe a darkened way of thinking, or they're hard workers or whatever. But we're going to focus on the puppy. The puppy is someone that's young and immature and is a friend, okay? It still has some growing up to do. Probably a new Christian, right? So it started to move as she started to peel off the foil. So she's peeling back the layers of what's stopping this person from moving. And as she peels back the layers, it first is able to move its head. Your head represents, that gives you direction. I learned yesterday, the day before, with a horse, where the nose goes, the horse goes. So if you can direct a horse with it in the direction it's going to go by leading the nose, right? And the same thing with our head. If we turn our nose to the right, our head's going to the right, right? So this is giving it direction. That's also authority, giving it authority. And then its face represents identity because it's what you see, how people perceive you, and so forth. And then its neck also represents identity. And all of this has to do with regaining motion, where you're able to see things and move and flow as a head with authority in the spirit. And then as you move, the rest of the body's going to be able to do the work also. And then we see it was happy to be taken out of what was binding it. So there might be here some degree of questioning or discerning behind the scenes. Does this person really want to be set free? Do they want to be healed? And that is assuring you that they do want to be free, and they will be thankful that you've helped them get delivered or free from this thing that has bound and afflicted them so that they weren't able to move in the spirit at all. Okay, so let's take a look at the next dream. This is a good one. I like this. What do y'all think about a bloody conch shell? I say conch shell. It might be conch. I don't know. What would that mean? It didn't seem violent, and we were gently rinsing blood out of it so that we could take them home. Okay? So with dreams, it depends on the context of the dream. A lot of times you want to know what else happened in the dream. Somebody did ask what happened in the dream in the interpretation, and she said, that's all that I remember. Somebody said, there's just the case of something left out with no life in it anymore. Just this one element. With this one element, it's hard to say. So here I come with my interpretation. We do need to know the context of the dream, but also we have Holy Spirit, so we can discern what is going on with the dream, in the dream, and so forth, just by praying and asking the Lord what's going on here. Now, she did say in the comments that it seemed, or in her description, that it seemed positive, okay? So I would say this represented a good thing. So instead of it being blood, warfare, etc., we can take a look at it and discuss it for there. So when I think of a conch shell, or conch shell, however you say it, a lot of times people will cut off the end of it and they'll put in a trumpet mouthpiece, or no mouthpiece. You just put your hand on it and blow, kind of like a shofar. It acts like a trumpet, and it can be used as a musical instrument, okay? So a trumpet will represent sounding the alarm or something prophetic. So we know that this dream is more of a prophetic dream. Now, what does that mean? What does that represent? The interesting thing is, when you hold a conch shell up to your ear, the reason that you hear the ocean, they believe, is because it's actually the sound of your blood flowing through your ears, through your veins. Every time the heart pumps, you hear, and it sounds like an ocean moving, right? That's why it sounds like the ocean when we're listening to seashells, right? So, and that has to deal with blood. She said she was cleaning blood out of it. So what we have here is that they're cleaning it up. It's been covered in blood. It's covered by the blood. Now and covered by the blood is what? We get covered by the blood. It's protection, and the blood is our cleansing from sin. So what's happening is they're cleaning the blood off, representing being careful to clean up what they listen to regarding prophecies or prophetic warnings, and they're taking it home with them. It's going to be theirs, meaning they're going to be using it. So this dream is letting them know that they're called to prophecy, they're called to sound the alarm, they have to do something to take care of that, to maintain it, to clean it up, so to speak, so that they can give unadulterated prophetic warnings without the flesh being involved, right? So what it essentially boiled down to, what it's saying is that we need to be careful what we listen to, discern what we hear, cover it in the blood, keep it cleaned up and everything, because what influences us in our life will influence how we hear God and how we interpret what God is saying, whether it's through dreams or through things in the natural. So you want to be careful about what you let into your life, what you watch, what you hear, because that will affect how you interpret. You have to be able, with dream interpretation, you have to be able to get outside of yourself so that you can properly interpret dreams. And that is sometimes a hard thing for people to remember, for people to get away from, okay? So let's take a look at another one, shall we? Here's one for Daryl. I'm going to use Daryl's name because I know Daryl. All right, let's take a little look here. I had a dream this morning that I had a scheduled meeting to attend that was also attended by Donald Trump. So you have an appointment. An appointment means that you are designated to show up and do something. You have an office that you're appointed to at this time. Okay? That was also attended by Donald Trump. So you have a call to leadership. You have a big call to leadership. Donald means ruler, and Trump obviously is the trumpet. And that's a prophetic office. You're called to sound the alarm, and that's what you're meeting, what you're going to come into agreement with, right? My duty was to bring a bunch of small 4th of July flags, and what does that represent? Independence, freedom, okay? As I understood it, I was critical to the agenda, and meeting would not come on without me. So you have to participate in this. You have something that you need to do. When I arrived to the meeting, there was a crowd of people standing around, but there was an aisle for me in between the crowd to advance right to the front. So I went up the aisle, and I became a little nervous at the prospect of meeting Donald Trump. Just as I got to the front, I turned to my left, and immediately Donald Trump was there. I shook his hand and greeted him, but it felt kind of awkward because my expectation and my perception kind of clashed at that moment. He looked quite haggard, and I proceeded to think how I was going to distribute the flags, and then the dream faded from there. So this is good. The flags can represent flags, and they can represent standards. A standard can represent, something that you're called to raise the bar, raise the standard, so to speak. Then your duty is to do what? Just bring the standards. Just bring it with you, carry it with you. And you have to bring that standard with you. That's your job. That's your obligation. And it's a lot. You have a lot of standards to set for people. These little fruit flies are super annoying, and they keep buzzing around my head, and I'm proceeding through them. You might be able to see them on the camera. On Wednesday, one flew up my nose and down the back of my throat. I made a joke about how Obi-Wan was over there going, "Fruit fly, use the force, fruit fly." It's probably some demon back there going, "Yes." Little Darth Sidious, do it. And the fruit fly's like, "I'm doing it." Like right now, I just swallowed one. So disgusting. But anyway, you have a stand. You're saying, well, how do I bring the standard? How do I set the standard? That's my job, is to bring the standard. What do I do? You're going to meet with or come into agreement with leadership, and it looks haggard to you. It looks weird and awkward, and it's like it's difficult, worn out, or whatever, tired. And your perception and your expectation is conflicting with what's actually going on. And that shows you have an expectation or a perception that things are supposed to be a certain way, that you're supposed to do this, enter into this, come into agreement with this in a certain way, but it's not happening the way that you want, but it's happening. And because you had an aisle, you had a way around, you didn't have to go through the same process other people do. You are being expedited to the front of the line. And that comes from your willingness to do what God wants you to do. So disregard what your expectation is and what your perception is of what it should look like with you going into the prophetic, and just come on in. All right, we'll do one more. This is from Beth. I had a dream where my purpose for being at a friend's house, I will skip the name, was to clean for her. She had a bad headache and was lying on the couch in a dark room with a wet cloth over her eyes. I went in and said, I have just one more room to do. I have to clean the heartbeat room. I heard the words heartbeat bill. It was a small room. Although I didn't see it, I knew it. I got done cleaning the room. I found out they heard a heartbeat there later, and everyone was ecstatic. I got the impression they didn't think I cleaned fast enough. I think she might have been cleaning as well before she was laying down. The word Katie means pure. Okay? Pure might. Okay? So we're going to go, this person's name is Katie Might. I had a dream for being at a friend's house, Katie Might. So pure might, pure power. And it was to clean for her, for pure power. She had a bad headache, so something is affecting her. She's laying on the couch. Couch means to sleep or to rest in a dark room with a wet cloth over her eyes. So she's trying to rest, trying to get comfort, right? You go in, you have one room to do. You have to clean the heartbeat room. So you have to make room for this thing of cleaning up. So essentially, let's just break down what the interpretation means instead of trying to teach through it, because the interpretation is showing cleaning the heartbeat room would probably be what I would say. So heartbeat representing a beating heart, rhythm, whatever you want to call it, and room is what you make room for. So you have to make room for cleaning or cleaning up this heartbeat mess, all right, this heartbeat room. Then that's kind of messy. So the heartbeat bill is dealing with abortion. And so one of your jobs as an intercessor is to pray and intercede on behalf of these people from a mighty, powerful place, essentially, to change the heartbeat bill for the nation, for your state, for your country, etc. So that's what that means. So keep praying. You're going to have great things happen. And that is all that I have time for right now. So I'll go ahead and wrap it up and let you guys go. Until next time. Love you guys. Be blessed.
Bye.
Bye. There's Brandy.